Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me while looking at some more MTG cards. Now, I'm going to finish off this review with the last section, which is Sagas. And then I will do a quick update on the cards I think are good for Commander. Then some of them are going to be pretty obvious. Alright, moving on. Befriending the Moths, 3 colorless, 1 white for a target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains flying until end of turn. It's got both 1 and 2 Saga. Exile the Saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. You get a Moth flying 2/4. Is this good? It's not that good. Moving on to Era of the Enlightenment. 1 colorless, 1 white. For a scry 2, you gain 2 life. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. It turns into a 2/2 first strike. That's not bad. I mean, it's 2 mana for a scry 2, gain 2 life, and a 2/2 first strike. I kind of wish it had lifelink or something because of it just goes well with all of that, but it's not bad. It's not the best either, but the Fall of Lord Kondo, 2 colorless, 1 white for an exile target creature an opponent controls with mana value 4 or greater. Oh, that's good. Each player gains control of all permanents they control. Okay. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield under your control. Defender, when it dies, draw a card. This is not bad. It takes a while to get into it, but it's not bad. It's good in Commander. Fall of Lord Kondo. Michuku, Reign of Truth. 1 colorless, 1 white for a target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each artifact and enchantment you control. That's better. It's better than this one. Exile the Saga and return to the battlefield transformed under your control. Its portrait. It looks like a man. Weird. Enchantment. Or maybe it's a man. Or maybe it is a man. Portrait of Michuku gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. That's not bad. It's a 1/1 to begin with, but it can become more if you're playing an enchantment deck. Depends on which deck you put it in, but I'll give it an okay. The Restoration of Igonjo, 2 colors, 1 white for a search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Okay? You may discard a card. When you do, return target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Pretty good. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. It is a 3/4 Fox Monk with Vigilance, and whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 1/1 color spirit creature token. That's really good value for 3 mana. I like all the stuff it did. I like all that stuff. I like this one. Behold the Unspeakable, 3 colors, 2 blue for creatures you don't control get -2/-0 until your next turn. 5 mana, but if you have one or fewer cards in hand, draw 4 cards, otherwise scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Oh my god, that's insane. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. Flying, Trample, Vision of Unspeakable gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand. Oh my god, this is an insanely good card. This is an insanely good card in Commander. I like this one a lot, and it's actually a finisher as well. So it's not a combat trick, but it's a minimize damage. It's a draw 4 cards unless you do this wrong. But the other option is okay, I guess. But draw 4. Let's say it's draw 4. Is that the best case scenario? Okay, let's say it's draw 2. Fine, it's draw 2. Then you flip it. You got more than 2 cards in hand because then you drew 2. So this is a 4/4 flying trample. And if you're playing the right deck, this could become a 7/7, a 10/10, a 12/12 flying trample by itself. So I think it's actually a really good card. Inventive Iteration, 3 colorless, 1 blue for return up to 1 target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Return a artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. If you can't, draw a card. Okay, exile the Saga, transform it. Flying, whenever you cast a spell, your opponents can't cast spells with the same mana value as that spell until your next turn. Yeah, I mean, it's a good, annoying card. all of that stuff is value. It's just annoying in Commander, but the modern age, one colorless, one blue, draw a card and then discard a card for both 1 and 2 Saga. Then for the third one, exile and transform it. It becomes a 2/3 flying. It's not bad. It's 2 mana for draw 2. It's like a more expensive, what's that red card? But instead of discarding 2 cards, no, I'm pretty sure that one draws you 2 cards and then you discard 2 cards. But now Faithless Looting, I don't know. But then the other part of getting a 2/3 flying for 2 mana on turn 3, it's a bit slow. Maybe it's not the best. If you're playing an enchantment deck, it's fine. Life of Toshiro Umezawa, 1 colorless, 1 black. 4A, choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end turn. You gain 2 life. Isn't that the sword? That's all the abilities of the sword. That sword, I think. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. Enchantment creature, Human Samurai. Tap, pay 1 life, add black. Spend this mana only to cast instants or sorcery spells. It's okay. The Long Reach of Night. Creepy art. 3 colorless, 1 black, 4A enchantment. Each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. That's pretty good. Good value. It doesn't say you have to do it. Then you transform it, and it becomes an enchantment creature spirit. Still creepy. With menace. Whenever Animus of Night's Reach attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in defending player's graveyard. Not bad overall for 4 mana. Not bad overall for 4 mana. It doesn't give you card advantage, but it's still, once again, a possible finisher in the right deck. So why not? Especially in like a mill kind of a deck, or just a creature destruction deck where you just empty their board and then just attack them for 6 or 7 or 8. Okibo, Reckoner's Raid, 1 black for each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Great in that decks, the green-black decks that have come out recently, where you don't want to lose, you don't want to gain or lose a lot of life because of 1 interaction. You want to like slowly build up on that. Exile the Saga, you get a 2/2. With vehicles you control have menace. And it's got menace. That's kind of unfortunate because this would most likely not be played in a vehicle deck. Tribute to Horobi. 1 black, 1 colorless for each opponent creates a 1/1 black rat rogue creature token. Okay, sure. That doesn't sound the best. Then you flip it. Flying, haste. When it enters the battlefield, you gain control of all rat tokens. Not bad. So you could gain control of 6 rats when this card comes into play. When it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Oh man, that is a tough one. When it transforms, it doesn't have summoning sickness, right? So maybe not the worst. I don't know. That's a tough one. You guys can let me know about Echoes of Death's Wail. Whale. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. 2 colors, 1 black, 4A. Create a 2/2 Goblin Shaman creature token with, whenever this creature attacks, create a treasure token. Not bad, but it hasn't got haste. Nope, nowhere did it say haste. You may discard up to 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. Pretty good. Exile the Saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. Reflection of Kiki. Creepy art. Goblin Shaman, 1 colorless, tap, create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature token you control, except it has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Wait. Oh, it costs 1 colorless, so you can't make it go infinite unless you have mana, as well as a card that literally just comes into play and allows you to create a new copy of it. Okay, so it can't go infinite, but do I like these other 2 abilities? And for 3 mana, is it good? Yes. This is a extremely good Saga. In the right commander decks, it's pretty much broken. Kumo faces Kazan. 1 red for Kumo deals 1 damage to each opponent, each planeswalker they control. Okay? When you cast your next creature spell this turn, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, not bad for 1 red. And it creates a human shaman with haste. If a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it instead. For 1 red, all of that stuff it does. Oh, by the way, this has haste. So this got haste as well. That's not true for... No. So, okay, the ones that have to use their ability straight away, they come in with haste. Is this card good? It's a tricky one. The first ability is actually kind of weak, because it says deals 1 damage to each opponent, each planeswalker, but you don't want to play this at that time. But if you... Wait, does it give its +1/+1 counters to this creature? That'll be interesting. It's okay. The Shattered States Era. 4 colors, 1 red for gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it against haste until end of turn. Okay. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. And exile turns into a 3/3 with trample and haste. It's okay. It's actually kind of overpriced. Azuzu's Many Journeys. 1 colorless, 1 green. 4. You may play an additional land this turn. You gain 3 life and exile it. Then you become Likeness of the Seeker. Human monk. Whenever Likeness of the Seeker becomes blocked, untap up to 3 lands you control. Not bad, actually. For the 2 mana investment, not bad. Besiege You reaches skyward. 3 colorless, 1 green for... Did I say 1 red? 1 green. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Put up to 1 target land card from your graveyard on top of your library, and exile it to become a 0/0 where it's a 0/0 tree, heavily pixelated, where it gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Once again, not bad. I kind of wish it had trample, because then it'll go into the same line of thinking as this is your finisher, and you search your cards, and you put your cards, land cards into play. So it does like all 3 things that you want in a lands deck. But I guess if you can give all of your creatures trample at all times, then this is actually a perfectly fine thing to put into your deck that cares about lands. Because you're just going to get the value at the end. You get a +1/+1, like you get like a 7/7 or a 10/10 creature, which will just be annoying because it has reach. The Dragon Kami Reborn. 2 colorless, 1 green. You gain 2 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 of them face down with a hatching counter on it. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay, so this for 3 mana lets you dig 6 and gain 4 life. Okay? Whenever Dragon Kami's egg or a dragon you control dies, you may cast a creature spell from among your cards you own and exile with hatching counter without paying its mana cost. This is amazing. This can be done amazingly well in the right deck. I like it. Like this one a lot. Jugan Defends the Temple. 2 colors, 1 green for a creator 1/1 human monk creature token with tap. Add 1 green. Okay. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, and it turns into a 2/2 with flying. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on that creature. Oh, that's insane. And as long as you control 5 or more modified creatures, Remnant of the Rising Stars gets +5 and has trample. This is a pretty good Saga in the right deck as well, but I think it's pretty good. Is it game winning? Actually, it is game winning. It's really good. Tales of Master Sashiro. 4 colorless, 1 green for a put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. It gains vigilance until end of turn, and flip it for a 5/5 vigilance and haste. 5/5 vigilance and haste when you can also put 2+1/+ counters and make other creatures. It's okay. Some of the common ones are not the best. 1 colorless, 1 green, 4. Mill 3 cards. Create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And whenever Kirin Touch Orichi attacks, choose 1. Exile target creature card from the graveyard. When you do, create a 1/1 spirit creature token. Exile target non-creature card from your graveyard. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It's like recycling. It's recycling pretty much and putting stuff in your graveyard. It's a tricky one. And Hitsugi consumes all 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 red. 4. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. Exile all graveyards. We covered this in my markets cover. I totally skipped it after that part. It turns into Vessel of All Consuming, which is enchantment creature Ogre Shaman Trample. Whenever Vessel of All Consuming deals damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever Vessel of All Consuming deals damage to a player, if it has dealt 10 or more damage to that player this turn, they lose the game. This card is like this card is really, really good. And the Kami Wars, 1 colorless and Blueberg. Anyway, it's all the colors. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls. 6 mana. I would expect it to say each opponent, but anyway. Return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then each opponent discards a card. Okay. Actually, maybe that'll be broken because everyone discards a card and then you return something back to their owner's hand. Then it turns into Ogachi Made Manifest in all color. Ogachi Made Manifest, and this card is all colors, has flying and trample. When it attacks defending player, choose a non-land card in your graveyard. Return that card to your hand. This card gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the mana value of that card. So beat down in 5 color. Beat down, removal, card advantage. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Anyway, that is actually all of them. That might have taken me longer than I expected. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and see you later.